Okay, so now everything is fine, guys. Come on.
Yes, Ravi, please carry on.
Okay, so now let's start the sessions now, guys. Okay, now our discussions is over now, guys. Okay, whatever things we will discuss in the group, right?
Yes, Ravi.
Right, sir.
So now everything is fine. My voice is breaking. My screen
Yeah.
is not.
No.
Everything is good, right?
Yeah, all
Yes,
are
Ravi.
good.
You can continue.
Okay, good. So let's start the sessions now, guys. Today our discussion is what? Today our discussion is what? Is Spring Cloud
Config server.
config server, right? Spring Cloud config Spring Cloud config server. Font is perfect, guys. It's
Yes,
visible
Yeah,
Ravi.
now.
perfect. Ravi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
visible.
Ravi.
So
It's
just
visible, Ravi.
yeah, just now we seen that, right? Whenever we are writing the microservices, guys, okay, whenever we are writing the microservices, multiple microservices, we are writing or not, come on, in the project, in our project, one
Yes, Ravi.
microservices, in our project, one microservices is there, multiple microservices is there now, guys, come on.
Multiple.
Yeah,
Multiple.
Multiple, very good. Multiple microservices project is there, and every project having what, some property YML file or not, guys, come on, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes,
Correct.
very nice, very nice. Just I'm showing to you people, just this is what one microservices, and this is what another microservices. Come on, these two projects are there na, come on.
Yes,
Yes,
Ravi.
Ravi.
So the thing is, whenever I'm opening this microservices, just see that here in this project, right, one property is there or not, guys, come on.
Yes, Ravi. Property file.
One property file is there where we are writing those properties now, come on, yeah.
Yes, Ravi.
Same
Ravi.
thing,
Correct.
same things. I'm opening another microservices, right? In this microservices, right, in this microservices, one property is there or not.
Yes, Ravi.
There, Ravi.
So in our application, there can be multiple microservices, right? For every microservices, there will be one property RML file, na? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so the thing is, same things I'm going to write it here. We are preparing the notes also, because this note will help you guys. Okay, after the session I will share these notes. Okay, please read this notes. See, boss, our Spring Boot others modules, right, like how data JPA and what Spring MVC plus what RESTful. If the person is initially 4 to 5 session, that person is serious, right? If then the person will come in the last, right, also then the person will understand that module. But in microservices, right, in microservices, every day, right, you will get what, new topic, right? So if you thinking about that, okay, today let's bunk the session, we will join tomorrow, right, then what, microservices will not understand, right? You guys will not understand what microservices. Clear? So because of this is the reason, when I was started microservices at that time, at that date onward, I'm telling, right, just study 1 hour only every day microservices, because first day sessions also need till last session, right? So I'm preparing the notes also, guys. Okay, read it, this notes. Okay, based on this notes only, the interviewer will ask the question, except that if the person is asking extra, right, extra word, then tell me, right, then tell me, Ravikant, you did not teach this area, and interviewer asked me, right, like these questions. I will cover each and every possibility in microservices related to where that interviewer thought will reach, right? Those things also I will include in microservices, guys. Okay, so just read it. Okay, so in our application, there can be multiple microservices, right? Multiple microservices, right? So good. So for every microservices, there will be one property na, come on.
Yeah, Ravi.
One
Application of
properties
properties.
are YAML file, right?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, ML file. Okay, so now very nice, very nice. Okay, just I'm opening the last project again now, guys. Okay, just I'm opening the last project, right? So what I'm doing now, so here only what I'm doing now, just focus on my wording, guys. Okay, after ending I will tell this is the config server. Okay, then you will, people will get, oh, this one only, how the easiest way Ravikant is presenting front of me, right? What config server. So good. So last time we developed, right, Venda service and Fin client, right? Okay, so just I'm opening the property of what this application, guys. Okay, just I'm opening this property now. Good. So not this one, vendor and what, load balancer Eureka product. Okay, now let's open this these two property, right? These two microservices property. Okay, good. So I'm opening this microservices property, right? I'm opening this microservices property. Hey, where that keys are, yaar? One minute.
Order rest controller.
Okay, order rest controller, right?
Yeah, Ravi. It's a consumer.
Order service, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Customer rest controller.
Okay, I need two property, that's it. Okay, so good. And again, what I'm doing now, I'm opening this microservices also, right? This microservices property also. Now good. So okay, just see this, guys. Okay, so here what I'm doing now, I'm copying these things. Okay, just I'm copying these things. Now notepad, I'm opening the notepad now. Just I'm pasting here, right? Okay, good. So I'm copying this property also. I'm copying this property also. Now the same property I'm pasting now. Okay, just tell, guys, just tell. So this is what is specific of project, right? This property is specific that microservices na.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
And
Yes, Ravi.
this one also is specific of what, that microservices.
One microservice.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what is this now? This is the common for both
Common
microservices.
lot.
This is the common for
Yes,
both
common to
microservices or not? Come on, yaar.
Yes, Ravi. It is
Yes,
Common is
Ravi.
common.
Common.
Common,
It's
right? Means what? In what is that? This key value. Key is the same. Don't bother about the key. Value is different, na? These two property. This value is different, and this value is different. Come on.
Yes,
Yes,
Ravi.
Yes,
correct.
But
Values.
but the thing is, what is that? Some properties are there whom what, key and value both are the same only, right? Same only. Come on.
Right, right.
Yes.
Yes, correct. Some
The
are common.
same thing to storing these value in common place. The storing these value in common place and using those key in what, every microservices project is nothing but what, config server now, guys.
Yes,
Come
Ravi.
on.
Oh, very, yes, clear, Ravi.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Ravi.
clear.
It's clear.
Okay, so okay, very nice, very nice. Now good. Okay, good. So now second step. Okay, so there microservices may have what, may have some common key and value, right? Key and value pairs, right?
Yes, common properties.
Yes, common properties, right? Common properties like what? Same key and value. Same key and value in what is that? In multiple microservices. Multiple microservices, right? Multiple microservices. Good. Multiple microservices and what is that? And few key and value are different, right? Come on. some key and value is the same, right? And so some key and value is different or not, guys? Just I shown
Yes,
that, right?
some are different.
Okay, so just assume this key only, right? Just what is that? This both key I'm copying. No, 1 minute. This one and this one I'm copying now here only, right? Just both, this one I'm copying here only. Just example, right? For example, right? This key and value for the one microservices. Again, these values are what? These values are from another microservices we are copying, right? These two values. This one. This one and what? This one. This one, right? For example, right? So these two are what? Common, right? These two are common, but what these two key is different or not? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Same things only, same
Different,
things, same things only I wrote here also. So okay, good guys. So how we can provide what? How we can provide these things using what is that? Like what? How we will, how? Because whatever things are there common, right? We need to provide as a common place now.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so that is nothing but what? Config server. That is nothing but what? Config server. That is nothing but what? Config server. What is the config server? Providing,
Common properties at one
yes,
place.
providing one common place for what? Common place for what?
Common properties.
Yes, for common property. Very good, very good. Okay, for common key and value property, right? To every microservices, in project, right? So how many types of what? Config server now? This is also question or not, guys? Come on.
Yes, Ravi, 2 times.
2 types.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good, right? So these config server is what? This config server we can provide two way. What is that? First way is what? First way
GitHub and native.
GitHub. Using GitHub, that is what we are placing the things, right? But that
Yes,
that
Ravi.
if we are providing GitHub link, right? That is nothing but what? External config. Right? That is nothing but what?
Yes, Ravi.
External config using Git
GitHub
account.
repository.
Using what? Git account, right? And another one more is there. B. This one is less
Native
usage.
server.
This one is what? Less usage is there in real time. No one is using this one, guys. Okay, until the developer, like whenever developer is deploying in the what project, right? So suddenly they are not getting the like what? All credential. So
Yes, Ravi.
but the what our business manager want what? To do something every day in the company, right? Because if we sit ideal, then what? He's the business manager now. He will observe it. Hey, this new resource is there, and he also do some work. So what they will do if they are not assigning what? Git a credential? So that person will use
Native.
what? Our local drive, right? Native configuration. Native config.
Yes, Ravi.
Native config, right? That is what for the testing purpose only. If we want to test our application for the testing purpose only, this one is the people are using, guys. Okay, so developer machine, right? Developer machine are what? System drive. We are using what? Developer machine or system drive. Now let's understand, guys. Okay, based on that what? Diagrammatically, we will understand these things based on that what? Diagrammatically now, guys. Okay, so everyone is ready to understand what based on the diagrammatically the things now.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, yes, Ravi.
Yeah, so now let's the same things based on what? Diagram, right? Diagram only, right? So once the diagram will complete, we will start what? Practical. Clear?
Okay, Ravi. Clear.
Okay, Ravi sir. Sir,
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes.
a external config using Git account, sir.
Ah,
Sorry for
yes,
spelling.
yes, very good, very good. Git. Good observation.
Thank
Right?
you, sir.
Git, right? Using Git, we are providing the what? External configuration now, guys. So, okay, guys. So the thing is, let's start working on what? Diagram. Then the based on that diagram only, we will do that what? Practical now, guys. Okay, based on the diagram only, what we will do it? We will do the practical now, guys. So,
Practical.
okay. So in just assume that now, guys. Okay, just assume that in our project, one microservices or multiple microservices.
Multiple, Ravi. Multiple
Multiple
microservices.
Multiple
microservices,
microservices.
right? Multiple microservices. Just assume that these are what? Our microservices, right? These are the our what? Microservices project now, guys. Okay, so this is what? One microservices. This is one microservices. This is what? Another microservices, right? This is what? Another microservices. Now this one also what? Another microservices. Good. So what we will do it now, for every microservices having the property or not? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, very
Yes,
good.
yes.
So every microservices having what? Property, app dot property, right? App dot property. Every microservices having what? App dot property. App dot property, right? So means what? Every microservices we need to write some property key and value na. Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
So the same things,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Okay, the same things we will provide that what? The common, sorry, specific the project property we will provide in this property file, in this property file. And which one is the common for all? Which one is the common for all? We will provide, we will specify those property in some other places, some other places.
Git.
That place we will use for that storing that key. We will use what? Git. We will use that proper like what? That specific place we will use what? Git account, right? We will use what? Git account, and we will store in the real time. The people are using Git account only, right? Git only. So we will provide what? Whenever we are providing that property using Git, right? That is nothing but what?
Yes, Ravi.
That is nothing but what? That is nothing but what? External config. Come on,
External
yaar.
config. Yes, Ravi.
External config. External config, right? External config. So here what we are doing now in the Git, we are providing what is that? All common, right? All common key and value data in what? Git account for the all microservices, right? For the all microservices, which one is need in this microservices also, in this microservices also, and in this microservices we will provide those property inside where now? Inside where now? In the Git
Git
repository now.
repository.
Clear, guys?
Yes, Ravi.
Everyone
Yes,
is
Ravi.
catching my
Clear.
point?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi, clear.
Okay,
Yes, Ravi.
good.
Yes, Ravi.
So very nice. Okay, so here what we will do it now? We will write what? One app property here also. App property. App property, right? We will provide that app property in the Git also, right? Git also. Then what will happen now? Here we will provide what? Specific of what? This microservices key and value data, right? Key and value data.
Yes, Ravi.
Key and value data, right? Key and what? Value data. And here what we will do it now? Here what we will do it now? We will provide
We'll
what?
keep
We will provide,
common-
yeah, we
Common-
will provide the
common things.
common key,
Common properties.
yeah, common property, right? common property. Here we will provide what?
Connected value.
Common property. But the question is how the interaction will happen between what? This microservices with this database, sorry, this Git repository. Come on. That is the question or not, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi.
That is
Yes,
the big
Ravi.
question. That is the big question. Same things, guys, same things. Okay, same things. If whenever we are providing, just assume that, right? Just assume that in our project, if we don't have what? Git account, right? Git account. So we need to provide the same things in what? Same application property in what? In our local machine, right? Just we are using what? Some our local machine drive,
Right.
like C drive, D drive is there, na?
Yes,
Yes,
Ravi.
Ravi.
So in that drive, right? In that drive, app dot property, right? Prop. If we are providing, right? If we are providing these things, right? This key and value, and we are fetching from that, right? We are fetching from there, right? So that is nothing but what? That is nothing but what?
Native config server.
Very good.
Native config.
Native config server. Now clear, guys?
Yes, Ravi.
Come
Yes,
on.
Ravi, clear. Clear.
I'm easily explaining the subject to you people. Everyone is
Yes.
reaching my point.
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi.
Give the
Yes,
give
yes,
the
sir.
Ravi. Yes.
active, be active yourself now, guys. Okay, respond everybody.
Yes,
Ravi,
Ravi.
can you repeat?
Easily
Native
understandable.
Okay, so this is nothing
Understand,
but
sir.
what? Yeah, native. This is nothing but what? Native config.
Native config.
This is nothing but what? Native config, right? We just assume that we are providing this file, right? We are providing this file in what? Our drive, just D drive. We are giving the location of D drive, my config folder there. In D drive, my config folder is there. In that folder, we are creating one file. That file name is what? Application that property, and that common key value we are providing in that file now. Okay, clear?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi.
Clear, Ravi.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ravi.
guys, but the thing is, guys, okay, directly our microservices will not communicate with what? Directly our microservices will not communicate with what? Git or this native. One more person need, right? One more person, mediator. That mediator person need, right? So to communicate with these two people, right? To communicate with what? These two people, right? So that person name is what? That person name is what? Config server.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Config
So
server.
Ravi.
that person name is what? In between what? One person we need, right? That person name is what? Config server now, guys. Okay.
Config
So
server.
yes, that person name is what? Config server. That person name is what? Config server now. Good. So in this config server also having what? In this is also project na. So this config server also having what? One property. This config server also having what? One property, right?
Property.
One. Yeah, this config server also having what? One property, right? One property, that app dot property, right? App dot property. It's having one what? Key. That key is what? Location of what? Location of what? We will give the location of what? Our Git. We will give the location of what? Our what? Git, right? Then what will happen whenever we will start our config server, right? Then the config server will start to communicating, right? Then config server will what? Start to communicating with what?
External config servers.
Yes,
Like
this
Git.
this one will, yeah, this one will start to communicating with what? These two, right? We can say that these two people, right? These two people.
Okay, Ravi.
So this one will start to communicating with what? This Git, and this one, this Git, right? This Git. Okay, so the thing is the only one more things. Okay, so this project, what is that? Recommended port number is what? Recommended port number is what? We can change it, guys. Okay, but so many things we need to learn.
8888.
Yeah, 8888, right? This
Yes,
what? Config server port number, by default port number is what? And a recommended port number also, right? 8888, right?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay.
Okay, Ravi.
So
Is there any specific reason, Ravi, for it become 8888?
I will show that practically, right? Here only if I tell, then you will not catching up. Okay, wait, I will show that what is the problem and how we can resolve it. So recommended port number, right? This is what recommended port number now. Okay, good. This is the recommended port number. The thing is, guys, okay, our config server is having the capability to what communicate with what Git, but the thing is how our microservices will communicate with what config server. This is also question or not? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
So we need to write some code. We need to write some code in every microservices. Come on. To communicate with
Yes, sir. Yes.
no, this what will happen now, we need to add one dependency here. In every microservices we need to add one extra dependency. Then what is that? The code will come what as a auto configuration, auto configurated code. We don't need to write any code. Clear?
Yes, Ravi, clear.
Yes.
Clear, Ravi.
That dependency name is what now, guys? Client.
Config client.
Config client. What is the name? Config client.
Config client.
Config client.
Config client. That what that dependency name is what? Whenever we will put that dependency, right, then by default what that code will come as a auto configure, right, in this microservices. The same things we need to do what every microservices, same things we need to what put that dependency in what every microservices. Padma is there in our session today?
No, Ravi.
Yeah, good. So now whenever we will put that dependency, right, then what will happen now? What will happen now? Every microservices will start to communicating with whom? Every microservices will start to communicating
Configure
with
server.
yes, config server, right? Config server and yeah, config server. And what will happen now? Our config server will, based on that property, what will happen now? This one will communicate with what? The database. Sorry,
External.
external config, right?
External config.
Yes,
Yes, Ravi.
external config now, guys. Okay, so good. After then first what will happen now? Whenever we will run, right, first client will make the request to config server, and what is that common property will fetch, right, and this one will return, and first this one will give to what every microservices, then a specific microservices property will execute. This is the question, guys. Okay, this one this is also one question. Okay, interview question. Okay, I will show that those things as a practically also. Then what will happen now? This one will return what common key and value directly to every microservices. Clear?
Yes, Ravi.
Everyone is getting this diagram easily now?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi. Clear.
Yes. So good. So now the question is what? External config is what? Global access place in what is that? Internet or not, guys? Okay, Git is the what? Global place, na? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Global.
Global place, right? If anyone can access it, na?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
A external config is what?
GitHub.
Global access, right?
Access.
Global
Right.
access place. Global access place in what? Internet. In internet, right? In internet, what we are using one Git account. In this time what we are using, what is that? Git account. We can use another account also, right? Some providers, the people know that, right? Git service provider, what is that? GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, etc. Those things is there now. Come on, you can use other things also, but here I'm going to use what? Git account.
Yes, Ravi.
And how many know that in the company, guys? Okay, the people are using what? Private Git account, but here we will use what is that? Public Git, because we
Public
don't
Git account.
private we need to pay something, right? Pay the money, right? Then
Yes,
they will provide. Okay, so here we will use what? Public account. So but in the company, people are using what? Private account.
Okay.
In the company,
Okay.
right? In the company, the people are used what is that? Private account, right? People are using what? Private account, right? So the people know that some like currently what? Some Git service provider, right? Git service provider. Git service
So
provider,
they,
what is that? Like what is that? GitHub is there, right? GitHub is there. And what is that? Nowadays, what the people mostly using GitLab also, right?
yeah, GitLab.
Git Bash also there.
Sorry.
Bash.
Yes, and a Bitbucket also, right? Bitbucket also, right? Bitbucket also is there. These what is that? Central repository where we are storing our data, right? Sorry, where we are storing our project in real time now. Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
But here same coding. If we can able to what? Configure based on GitHub now, then we can able to configure what is that? GitLab also and Bitbucket also. Coding will not change. Okay, same coding. We will do the same coding.
Okay, Ravi.
Same coding only, right? Only used in what? Use what is that? Every external config now, guys. Okay, every external config now. So another one is what? Native also, right? So let's understand little bit description about what a native also. So
Native.
yeah, native, right? Native native config, right? So native, it is used only in dev machine, guys. Okay, in only we are using in what? Dev machine. If we do not have what is that? Git link provided, right? Whenever we are deploying in the company now, suddenly they are not providing all credential, right? They are taking 1 month, 15 days, then they are providing, because first they are what? Raising the ticket to assign what? The credential of what? This employee, right? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
So
Yes, Ravi, yes.
yes, then we are getting, right? So but first day onward and 15 day, until unless we are not getting the credential, what they are assigning our one laptop, and what they are some tasks they are giving us, right, to do in our local. So for those task purpose we are doing that, what is that? Native configuration in our what? In our application now. So it is used only dev machine, right? In dev machine, if we do not have what? Git link. If we do not have what? Git link, right? Provided it. Right? So this is the mainly what purpose we are using this one? Only used what? Only used for what? Testing purpose. Right? Testing purpose, not support in what? Production environment. This one is not supporting in production environment, guys. Okay, whenever we are working in the what? Production environment, the people are using what? External config only, right? Clear?
Yes, Ravi. Clear.
Clear, Ravi, clear. Yes.
Yes, Ravi, clear.
Hey Satish, you also came, right?
Yes, Ravi. Actually, today was my passport appointment, so I went there.
Okay, no issue.
That's why I received. Thanks.
Yeah, environment, right? And using local system drive, and where we how we are implementing this one now, we are using for to configuring our what native clients, we need what, our local machine, right? Where we are using
Yes,
now,
Ravi.
Yes. Local machine.
yeah,
In local
using
machine.
using local local system drive, right? Using local system drive to what, store all keys and value. Clear, guys?
Yes, Ravi.
Clear, Ravi, clear.
Okay, good. So now the thing is what, let's start our development now, guys. Okay, let's start our what, development. So everyone is ready to do the practical on this conversation now.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, Ravi.
Ravi. So I think I am on the right time.
Yes, because last till now, the last Sunday I was explained already, right?
Yes, yes, Ravi.
Here only I was
Thank you.
stopped the session, right? I stopped the session on
Yes.
that day here only, right?
Yes, Ravi. Yes.
Yes.
Now let's begin
Now
our
good
what?
for me, Ravi. Yeah.
Yes, now let's start our what, practical now, guys. Okay, let's start our what, practical now. So first, what is that? First we will develop what? First we will develop our what, Spring Eureka server, right? First development will start. What is that? Our Spring Eureka server, right?
Yes.
Eureka server. So let's give what some name, right? Name we will give, what is that? Spring Cloud external config server, right? External config server Eureka server service. Server. Okay, so what is the dependency we need? What is the dependency we need to develop this one now, guys? Come on. Dependency we need what? We need dependency Eureka server.
Eureka server.
Eureka server.
Eureka server, no, here Spring Web no need, right? And actuator we need, right?
Yes,
Don't worry, actuator is a big discussion, guys. Okay, our next discussion is what, actuator topic only, right? Actuator topic only, but here it's a need what, actuator dependency, because of the region I'm putting that. Okay, because of the region I'm putting this dependency. Don't bother about this dependency now. Our next weekend our discussion is what, based on our actuator only. So there the things will clear, right? There the things will clear now. But until unless if I'm not starting actuator, just think it that this is the dependency. Whenever we will develop our config server, we need this dependency. That's it, right?
Okay, Ravi.
Okay, Ravi. No issue. Yeah.
Actuator ACTATOR, right? Spelling is correct. Anyone can tell actuator, right?
ACTU.
Yeah,
RATUR.
correct, right?
UAT.
Spelling is correct.
Yes,
Yeah,
Ravi. Correct. Yeah, correct.
actuator, right? And we need what in the main, right? In the main method we need what? In the main method we need what? One annotation. That annotation is what? At the rate enable Eureka server. At the rate enable what? Eureka server now. So let's develop this what? First let's complete this application now, guys. Okay, shall we develop it?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, I'm closing this one now, right? So
Yes.
good. So now file new and what? Let's start Spring Starter project, right? So let's give what? The same name, okay? So Spring Cloud external config server Eureka server, right? Now, next, what we need now, guys? Which dependency we need?
Eureka server.
Eureka server. And what?
Config client,
Actuator. Actuator.
No, actuator we need.
Actuator.
config server,
Actuator. We need what? Spring Boot actuator. Next, finish.